Here's the brutal truth. Timing is beyond your control. You can have the best product, the best idea, the best brand strategy, but if you catch the wrong cultural wave, it will not matter. And on the flip side, sometimes an average product hits the right wave and then explodes. So in this video, I want to talk about cultural timing, why it's unpredictable, why hesitation kills, and why the best founders build playbooks that don't rely on luck. We'll look at how to transform before you plateau, why you should never wait for perfect timing, and why risky moves beat safe ones every single time. Because here's the thing, you can't control timing, but you can control how you show up when the wave comes. One small request before we go into this: if you like this episode and my work, do me a favor and subscribe to this channel. You can also follow me on your favorite social media platform where I share how I'm building IP as a founder every step of the way. Alright, now let's dive in. Luck is when opportunity meets preparation, but timing still decides everything. Listen, history is full of these examples. Apple didn't invent the MP3 player, but they launched the iPod right as broadband and file sharing made digital music mainstream. Zoom wasn't the only video calling platform, but they became the default during COVID because they were prepared when the world needed them. On the flip side, Google Glass had incredible technology, but culture wasn't ready. Wrong wave, wrong time. And what's the lesson here? Some eras make growth easier, others make it nearly impossible. So, as a founder, your job isn't to predict timing. Your job is to be ready, because when the wave comes, it's too late to start paddling. But readiness isn't just about product, it's about the right mindset. And one of the smartest mindsets came from Louis Vuitton. It's called transform on the way up. If you wait until growth slows, it's already too late. Most companies only reinvent when they're in trouble. Sales slow down, competitors catch up, culture shifts. By then, change is reactive, not strategic. Louis Vuitton's leadership has a different philosophy. Always transform while you're still winning, because that's when you have the resources, the momentum, and the cultural attention to pull it off. This is why LV rotates creative directors before stagnation. Why Apple kept reinventing categories even when the iPhone was dominating. It's a discipline. Reinvent before you need to, because by the time you need to, the market has already moved on. And this same principle applies to cultural moments. If you wait for perfect timing, you're gonna miss it. Culture moves too fast for perfect timing. If you hesitate, the moment's gone. I've seen so many brands lose opportunities because they wanted every move to be perfectly safe, perfectly researched, perfectly planned. But culture doesn't wait. The meme cycle is days, not months. Trends burn hot, then they vanish. Relevance decays instantly. The brands that win aren't the ones who hesitate, they're the ones who act, test, and learn in real time. Think about Nike's Dream Crazy campaign with Colin Kaepernick. Risky, polarizing, launched into a cultural firestorm, but they moved while the conversation was alive, and it became one of the most iconic campaigns of the decade. Or think about brands like Duolingo on TikTok. Their content isn't perfect, it's actually chaotic, but it's timely, and that's why it works. Perfection is an illusion. The faster you move, the more likely you are to catch culture while it's still hot. And that brings us to one of the clearest tests for cultural timing: collaborations. Taking a small break from this video to talk to you about the Unmatched Collective. It's my private community for founders, brand leaders, and creators who want to build unmatched brands, not just for quick wins, but for the long term. Inside, I share the frameworks I've learned over my 20 years career at brands like Puma, Disney, and Warner Bros., and through building my own company. We dive into real case studies, live sessions, and the kind of founder-to-founder conversations you can't get on social media. So if you're serious about building a brand that lasts with clarity, purpose, and the right mindset, the link is below. Now let's get back to the video. If a collab doesn't scare you a little, it's probably too safe. Now here's the truth. Most collaborations are damn boring. No one remembers. The best collabs, though, break rules. They're unexpected. They spark conversations. Think about Supreme and Louis Louis Vuitton or Nike and Tiffany, Crocs and Balenciaga. None of these made logical sense. But precisely because they didn't, they became culture. Safe collabs are forgettable. Risky ones create movements, and that's the founder's job, to take bold swings. Not reckless ones, but bold enough that people say, wait, I didn't see that one coming. Because in a world of infinite noise, predictability is death. Surprise is survival. So, what's the playbook? How do you build a brand that doesn't rely on perfect timing but is always ready when the wave comes? These are the 3 rules. Number 1, momentum beats perfection. Don't wait for the perfect moment, move and adjust later. Number 2, reinvent early. Transform while you're still winning. Don't wait for a decline. And number 3, chase cultural speed, not corporate safety. Culture rewards boldness, not caution. And your job isn't to predict the wave, it's to paddle early enough that when it hits, you're already moving. That's how founders turn luck into legacy. Okay, so let's tie this in together. Timing is beyond your control, but readiness isn't. Transform on the way up, not when you're desperate. Don't wait for perfect cultural timing. Act while the moment is alive. Safe collabs fade, but risky ones create culture. And the founder's playbook is simple: momentum, reinvention, boldness. The brands that last aren't the ones who wait for the perfect wave, they're the ones already paddling when it arrives. So here's my challenge to you. Look at your business right now. Where are you waiting for perfect timing? Where are you holding back because you're afraid it's too early or too risky? Move, test, reinvent, surprise, because in culture, hesitation kills, but momentum wins. And that's the founder's playbook for cultural timing.